Hiya, welcome to Pickler the podcast. My name is Stacie Townsend, along with John the People's Champ Davison. John, I missed you so much on the last
I
episode,
know.
but I have to say, Podcast Nick did a great job. I can see why you have so much fun with him on your racing podcast, and the mullet looked good on camera.
Yeah, he's got the best mullet in pickleball. So Tyson's got a lot of work to do.
That's right. We should have had Nick do one of those Tyson impersonation videos and really steal the show there.
He wouldn't have had to use any fake hair, but he would have to put on an ab suit or something, and maybe some tattoos.
maybe the next time they do the contest, we'll get Nick to participate. But in all seriousness, it's great to have you back in the co-host seat.
100%. We have a good guest today, Stacie.
A terrific guest. I was doing my research, and I've been following him since I started in pickleball, but I'll just go ahead and bring him right in. He was set for a career in accounting before he went all in on pickleball in 2020, and it seems to be quite the decision. Zane Navratil, I think that's the accounting line, maybe the giveaway, but in 2022 alone, Zane, you won, I think, 26 medals. Hopefully my math is right since I'm speaking to an accountant. Over 20 tournaments, plus two-time MLP champion, one-time runner-up with MLP. You do camp series with APP, and you're also, quote unquote, according to Wikipedia, one of the pioneers of the spin serve, which has been a top discussion item in the pickleball world. Welcome, Zane.
Yeah, well, hey, thank you guys very much for having me. I appreciate it, and yeah, anytime I get to hang out with you and the people's champ, that's awesome. And Nick is great, the mullet's great, but I do have to say, I'm going to take credit for being the OG Tyson impersonator. As soon as that clothing line launched, where he had like those pink Selkirk things that, wear without the sleeves, I was like, that's a new look. Jenny, tank top, yes. So I bought one of those right away. I could actually probably go find it and put it on for the rest of this. If you guys would like, we could press pause. I'm currently not in a sponsorship deal other than Duper, Pickle and Social, Yobo. So I could rock the Selkirk right now if I wanted.
You could. You might even pull it off better, possibly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, you have a better tan, so I'm pretty sure Tyson's is fake. So I don't know.
No, I've got a pretty good farmer's tan here. I don't know if anybody's gonna see this or the recording or what, but yeah, it's all fake. It's a farmer's tan for sure.
So the tank top would go really well. It sounds like.
Yeah, no, I can still rock it for sure.
So, Zane, since you brought up the paddle sponsor, I'm going to go straight to that. I saw in the latest tournament you had a coming soon wind up, kind of like you see on your computer screen. I'm sure you may not be disclosing that right now. Is it known who your paddle is going to be for 2023?
Yeah. So there are some rumors out there. It's fun to see what people are guessing, but no, I've landed in a really cool spot. I'm excited, and it's something that sets me up as a player, and also a company that values me for my past business career. And yeah, I'm kind of working in product development, marketing, and a lot of different roles, as well as a current sponsored player. So we're working on a paddle, and I couldn't be more excited. So I can't share a tremendous amount other than the teaser, but yeah, it's a nice win-win.
How do you make that decision as a pro player who you sponsor with, especially something maybe as material as a paddle? Is all this business additional role, is that important to you, or what can you play best with, or a little bit of both?
Yeah, definitely both. So I mean, obviously the paddle is a very, very important piece of things, but just also, good people, meaning like you can put whatever you want in a contract. It's easy enough to get out of contracts. If it's not working for either party, it's, it's not a win-win. And so just finding people that I feel comfortable with on more than just a pickleball paddle level is important to me. So yeah, obviously we do all the paperwork and outline the expectations and whatnot, but somebody that you feel like you can, at the end of the day, their handshake means something. And yeah, so that's the type of person that I want to be with in a long-term relationship, and a relationship that's more than just paddle, right? I'll be a professional pickleball player for as long as I can be, but there are extenuating circumstances which could cause that to not be the case for forever. It won't be the case for forever, right? And so these guys, I think, will have a good long-term win-win.
Nice. Well, it also helps to get some money from it too, right? That's the bottom line.
Yeah, money helps
you
too.
as a you as a CPA, and me as a failure CPA candidate. I only passed one or two of the sections, I think. No, I don't think I passed the second one. And then I definitely didn't pass the next two. So I got out of accounting and went to finance.
As they do.
But I'm sure that money at the end of the day is all that matters. Not all that matters, but it matters.
Yeah, of course. However, maybe I'm different than a lot of people. I mean, I am looking for overall money over a career, meaning there are deals that I could take that could be phenomenal money for 2 years, but I'm just another marketing tool to a company rather than being part of a larger overall long-term strategy. So yeah, money is important, but trust in a long-term relationship, I think, is just as important. If you look at what I could make from a company over 30 years, I'm liking my prospects. I think I'm making more than Benny Boy or more than Tyson or any of those guys. If you obviously it's over a long term, but yeah.
Right.
No, I think that's refreshing, Zane. I don't know if all your counterparts in the pro world think about it like that, or or putting trust in the person across the table at the top of their list. So I think that's really refreshing, and I think it's important. And I think we should just get into it now, like all the changes in pro pickleball, and how do you fit into that, and how do you navigate that, and having trust in the people that are involved, I think, is probably top of your list. So, John, I don't know if you want to get into and summarize all what's going on so everybody's on the same page. I know Zane obviously knows everything that's going on because he's part of all those conversations. But tell all our fans, get everybody up to date here.
Well, obviously, Vibe came out for about 3 days, and then forced basically MLP to kind of merge with the PPA. And then so now you have kind of a war, starting again, really, between the two tours. And I did just see that Zane, you put your name in the hat for the draft at MLP. So I think they've had some contract negotiations, and changes from where it started a week ago or 2 weeks ago, that you could only play PPA. But I think that might have changed. I don't know.
Well, it sounds like there were two tour cards, maybe. One where you had to play a certain number, plus you could play MLP and all the APP, which I know, Zane, you've played a lot of APP events this year. And then the elevated to gold tour card, you're exclusive to PPA and those MLP events. So Zane, how, and analyzing all these changes, there was also some news today. I think I got an email from the Dink that said APP has paused negotiations with the pro players. I haven't seen anything to verify that, but that was the latest out of that. How do you navigate all of this? As a pro player, you're affected by everything here. How do you do this?
You want to know the actual truth?
Yeah, well, of course we do.
Can I swear?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I've done it before.
I won't swear too badly, but I haven't done shit. I hired an agent for exactly this reason, meaning he's been on the phone constantly. Josh from Top Notch Management, and to be quite honest, that's the best way to do it. It's a very, very difficult and especially intricate situation for me, I think, because of a couple things. First off, I've been with the APP and played a lot of APP tournaments over the past 3 years. I run APP Academy, but on the flip side, I sit on the board of directors of Major League Pickleball, and I'm sponsored with Duper, right? So it's a pretty difficult, and it's difficult to come out of this fully clean. So I let the expert do it, and I've been on the sidelines to a certain extent. I talk to people, I listen, but I don't think it's in my best interest to be spouting off on what I think at this point, for the most part, to be adding to the rumors circulating. I'm gonna sit back and relax and see where things fall. Which, being an accountant, and those who know me know I'm really, really type A. If I had the option, I would love to have my schedule made for the entire year, flights booked, all that stuff. But so it's difficult for me to do that. But I think it's the smart thing to do. Get a professional, somebody who does this as a job, somebody who represents other people, so they know. Josh knows exactly what's been offered to Anna, to Tyson, to Jesse,
right,
to Althoff, if anything was offered to Althoff.
Poor guy.
And yeah, so yeah, actually just not doing shit has I think served me well, and will hopefully help here.
Yeah. Well, I think you bring up a good point about representation, because I think it's to the point now where the sport's legitimized so much, and you have all these kind of competing tours and leagues, that if you don't have representation, you could be at a real disadvantage. I think having someone else, like, Stacie's a lawyer too. I'm sure, contract lawyer or business, whatever she does. I don't know, lawyer things. Yeah, like, there's such great advantages to having representation. And I think every pro should have that now. Like, like you are, and an agent or lawyer, however, to negotiate and do all the work for you, so that way you don't get, taken advantage of, right? So
yeah. I mean, and I think that an agent is a very particular set of skills, meaning so there's a couple things that are the advantage of an agent. First, there's negotiation and understanding the numbers. I think I could do that just fine on my own, to be quite honest. That's my area of expertise. However, I still fully believe that it's in my best interest to have an agent for the next two reasons, which is, first, I don't know. That's Murray. I don't know anything. I don't know a tremendous amount about law and contracts, which Josh does. And then third and most important, if I'm having these conversations only for myself, I don't know exactly what anybody else is getting, right? I don't know exactly what else is in anybody else's contract. And so Josh, while we don't discuss any of his other clients, he knows exactly what the APP has offered to so-and-so, or the PPA has offered. And that's what I think is a huge advantage of having an agent that does have a somewhat larger roster. So
I think
there's several advantages.
I think one more advantage, Zane, is Josh can be your bad guy, right? Like those tough conversations, if for some reason those negotiations don't go well, you can always be like, oh, just Josh, my agent being Josh, he's the bad guy. So you get to come out squeaky clean and have these great relationships with everybody. Because who knows what's going to happen? Like right now we have PPA and MLP and APP. They're all kind of in the mix. But what if some other acronym comes in the mix in the next 2 years that you just didn't know about? And how does that shake things? Like you just have to be, good relationships with everybody across the board. And I think that's probably one of the biggest benefits too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he does a good job of not being the bad guy. From what I understand, people like Josh, but I think you hit an interesting point. This won't be the end of new entities emerging in pickleball. We've had 3 years and 3 new tours, meaning like there was APP and PPA in 2020. In 2021, there was MLP. 2022, there was for a week Vibe. Jamie Foxx is announcing something or another. Don't know what that is. Rick Whitskin started a senior tour. I don't think I'm eligible. But like, there's going to be more competition. We're still very, very early on in professional pickleball. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think exclusivity is something to be careful about. It's not necessarily wrong for somebody, but it's something to be careful about. That's for sure.
Yeah, I guess your boy Althoff is. Did he get an offer from the Senior Pro League, or did he not?
I don't know.
So where do you think things will be, Zane, in say 3 years time?
3 years time. I couldn't tell you. I think pickleball needs to prove that it can generate viewership. Otherwise, I think pickleball 3 years from now could potentially be in a worse place than it is now. A lot of people are banking on the growth of the sport, but at least professional pickleball 3 years from now, we'll have to figure out whether some of these TV contracts that are becoming more and more legitimate actually do start to generate views. And if they don't, I think that the professional game is in trouble. However, I do think that participation drives viewership to a certain extent, meaning like most everybody has played tennis and they understand how difficult it is to play tennis. If you haven't played pickleball, you don't understand how difficult it is to hit a dink. Once you have played pickleball, you can appreciate what a dink is and might find it interesting to watch. So I think that the participation is certainly helpful in that regard. And once you've done it, okay, these guys aren't just tapping the ball to each other for no reason.
What do you think?
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. What do you think success looks like for pickleball, both amateur and pro? Like obviously pro, we need to prove out the broadcast. And I think that you hit on the key component of that growth. What about pickleball overall? What does that look like?
I think a couple things. I think high school, college, and Olympics would be enormous. I think we're really trending towards the sport being in all of those things. I mean, especially high school and college, it seems like an easy thing. It's a co-ed. It could be a co-ed sport, which I don't know any other. Are there co-ed sports other than kind of track and field? I suppose there's track and field where there might be some relay races that are co-ed, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think there's more club stuff, right? Like slow pitch softball, disc golf, or ultimate frisbee. Things like the club scene is more mixed gender, co-ed. Co-ed. And I think also there's like rifle, maybe co-ed as like an NCAA sport, but it's very the pickleball's mix of people is very unique for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, like, wouldn't that be super cool if you could actually introduce the first co-ed collegiate sport, if that's not already a thing? I mean, like, track teams have men and women on them, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if they compete, or I don't know how that works. I always thought track was just exercise. So
Same.
I never gave it any thought, but yeah, I think it'd be cool. It wouldn't throw off any Title IX scholarship stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So why not? It's super low budget, low space. So many places are canceling tennis programs, right? Toss in pickleball as an alternative.
Yeah. I think pickleball might actually become more of a revenue generating sport for college sports than tennis. Because I mean, at many colleges, not like your very big ones, I'm sure, that probably get, fans showing up. But I remember going to UNF and there wasn't a lot of fans that would show up to a tennis match, you know? So
What is
I
UNF?
don't know,
Maybe
maybe
that's why.
pickleball
What
would
is
get
UNF?
more
Northern Florida?
at a collegiate level in terms of fans, just because all the local people that play would probably be interested. I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I lost you guys for a sec there.
Oh.
That's okay.
I said, oh, I said, what is UNF? I don't know what UNF was.
Oh, it's the University of North Florida.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the Osprey, the home of the Ospreys. We swoop. we swoop on people.
But John,
But I don't know. I feel like it could be a revenue generating sport in the sense that I feel like more people that play pickleball would probably watch college pickleball versus people would want to watch tennis at a college level. But that's my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The fan base at college tennis is really bad.
Yeah.
And pretty much all, tennis viewership in person is not great. I don't know if pickleball would be any better, but even when 5-0s and local exhibitions are promoted well enough, you can get lots of people to show up and watch. So that's good,
exactly.
I feel like you could also build a community, right? Like you could monetize the pickleball courts. I played softball in college. Like that field was only used when we were on it. But pickleball courts at a college, I bet it could be a club. It could be used in a recreation for the college students. Maybe you can get the community involved and have like a club, and then you have those people as fans. I feel like there's a lot more engagement. And I've always said, like, I think the college is the easiest next step for pickleball, because I think when you go to college, you're looking for ways to get involved, and just the learning curve is so flat. Like anybody can do it, and you can make it super social. I think it really makes sense.
Yeah, it's really growing at the younger level too, because even just at my courts at Jack's Beach, I mean, it's gone from all 50 plus year olds to like 20, 30-year olds, and it is slammed of all 20 and 30-year olds now. So it's like you can tell it's getting into the younger demographics where it could probably play pretty well in college. And the Duper College Championship looked pretty fun. I was watching a couple highlights from it. They were getting pretty lit at Dreamland.
Nice, I love it. I was so bummed that I couldn't be there. My alma mater, UW Whitewater, sent a team.
Oh wow!
I don't think they crushed it, but they were there. I wish I could have been there. Yeah, that would have been cool. That's what a great event. That's super cool to see. $10,000 in prize money given out too, or scholarship money. So that's awesome.
I know. It was more than the minor league, I think. So, or about the same, maybe. I don't know, but I don't know.
Gotcha.
I'm the minor league backdraw champ, so I'm gonna stick on that.
There we go. Congrats! Wow, there we go. Congrats are in order.
Know.
Nice.
I know. I played with your buddy Neil.
Metarada?
Yeah, and Jerry. You know Jerry?
Oh yeah, Cheater Jerry.
He asked the score. He asked the score every single point on the rally scoring. He couldn't figure it out.
No, we call Jerry's funny. We call him Cheater Jerry because there's like one time in rec play we thought he cheated, and then just of course now he's just Cheater Jerry. And oh man, when Neil and Jerry played together, oh my god, you could tell them the score is 17-0 on the second point, and they would believe you. So the thing is, they're not trying to cheat, because if you told them it was 10-0-2, they would have no idea. 10-0-2 in your favor. They're like, okay. But yeah, it's much less excusable to not know the score in rally scoring. And
I
the funny part
swear.
is, the dude is like a super smart software engineer for
Mhm.
Android, I believe. And yeah, can't keep score.
It's so funny. He first point, it'd be, rally scoring. It's 0-0, and then whoever scores the first point gets a point. He literally looks at like Neil and I is every game. He goes, score? Like, what's the score? I'm like, it's 1-0. It's
But
the start of the game.
was he wearing his bright neon Dura colored shirt?
Yes, yes, he was. And then the funny part was it was either him or Neil asked the chicken and pickle team to change their neons out when we played them. they wanted them to change the shirt, but Jerry's still wearing his Durafast 40 shirt, or Franklin X40 shirt.
That's funny. Hey, it might just actually throw them off. Be like, wow, this guy has a problem with our shirt, but he's wearing neon yellow. Maybe we're the problem. That would really be some mind games right there.
Well, it's
Yeah.
actually a rule
Well,
change now. The tournament director can ask you to change your shirt. So everybody that you said is doing that, which I know a few myself, you got to be a little more careful now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's an interesting application of the rules. I think that it shouldn't be the tournament director, because what does a tournament director know necessarily? Like I think that it should be a referee. I think a referee is the one that's actually officiating that match. Tournament director, I think, just can potentially bring more subjectivity into it. Like, I don't know if Anna Lee has some new outfit and the tournament director is Connor, I don't like the odds of that going as much as or even on the opposite side. Like if Ken is the tournament director and I'm wearing, something. I think there are conflicts there when you involve the tournament director rather than just a referee. So anyway,
that's a good point.
More rules tangents from Zane.
That's all right. I wanted to talk about the rules with you, Zane. So the big news is the spin serve is gone, which you really pushed the envelope and created a weapon with your spin serve. I'd love to get your thoughts on that. And then my second follow up is, what rules are you looking at now that maybe you can create another new shot with?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, my opinion on the spin serve, I think is essentially irrelevant at this point. I think it was a pretty bad move. But I have data to refute almost any argument against the spin serve. I think, good points against all of the 5 reasons that the rules committee gave to USA Pickleball board of directors. But they've made their decision. I hope that it comes back in the future, because I don't think that there's a shot in the game that should just be a formality. Everybody returns my serve. Everybody figured it out at the top level. And if you're worried about amateurs, then we need a new rule book for amateurs versus professionals. So now that the spin serve is gone, I have more serve rule problems. Nothing that I'm planning on exploiting, but
yet.
Well, would I tell you if I was? Would I tell you if I was going to?
No.
The current serve rule is completely broken, meaning like the referees are attempting to police 3 things in real time. First, the paddle has to be moving in an upwards motion at a 1 degree angle. Impossible to tell. Absolutely impossible. Even slowed down in slow motion, you can't tell that. You can tell if it's clearly chopped down, but in borderline cases, impossible. Second, you have to be able to determine whether the ball is at or below waist level. I don't even know. In the past, referees were trained to interpret the waist as the belly button. The belly button is nowhere in the rules, but that's what referees have been told. Nobody knows where my belly button is. I got it surgically moved. Tyson got his moved to here, actually.
He's got a third nipple now. Yeah.
and then finally, the top part of the paddle can't be above the wrist. Also can't tell that in real time. So all three elements of the serve rule are broken, are impossible to enforce. So I think that the serve needs to go to drop serve only. Otherwise, people, as you're already seeing, are going to continue to serve from higher and higher. Especially when, if you get called for an illegal serve, it's just a redo in the PPA. I think the PPA does redos so that referees are more likely to actually make a call when it's borderline. USA Pickleball is still going to have the problem of, okay, I serve from here, is a referee, and a referee has to be 100% certain that it's illegal.
Yeah. They are changing that, Zane. So they are allowing a referee to do a replay if they're not certain, if it's too close. But if they are certain, they can call a fault. So if it's very clear, they can call a fault. If it's not so clear, they can call a replay, which is interesting because you can still push the envelope, I think, which is kind of getting to your point, and it's really tough to tell.
Yeah. So, and I think that's a difficult thing too, for a ref to say, yeah, I'm sure, versus, yeah, I thought so, versus no, it's legal, right?
Definitely.
That's tough. But again, I think that people are going to keep pushing it, and I really genuinely think that we should, at this point, go to drop serve only, because all you have to do is police that the person's hand isn't moving when they're tossing the ball. There's nothing to enforce after that. So that's where I think we should go with the serve. Just eliminate any subjectivity from it.
Yeah, well, I know you're going to be upset to hear this, but I'm happy that the spin serve is going away. As you know, I've played I played 2 or 3. So I played 3 tournaments this year. I played the U.S. Open, the Alabama APP, and minor league. And the minor league is when I saw it a couple times, a lot. Do you know Walter Lau? I think his name is Walter Lau. I don't know. Maybe I got his first name wrong. But he aced me 2 or 3 times in the first match. And then Eli Bertram.
Hold on. Are we talking clean ace, no paddle, or just
clean ace?
Oh man,
clean
that's inexcusable.
and then Eli Bertram. Do you know who that is? He plays the name. Next gen. His spin serve is better than yours. It is the best spin serve I've ever seen. Yours kind of still kicks up a little bit. His bounced an inch off the ground and went a completely different direction. I got aced maybe 6 or 7 times in 1 game to 21.
Damn.
And I was like, all right, this spin serve has got to go. I still beat him, but the spin serve has got to go. When I got aced 6 times and I looked absolutely stupid, I was like, all right, this has got to go. But my question for you is, what do you say to the haters who say that you can't play at a high level without your spin serve?
Well, first and foremost, John, there's never been a spin serve that I can't tell which direction it's going. And there's yet to be a spin serve that does not have a tell. Not a single one. I can tell you where every single spin serve is going. So you just got to figure that out for the next 3 weeks, or just don't play for 3 weeks. But,
yeah.
So, I mean, if you look at me play in Major League Pickleball in rally scoring format doubles, the serve is not nearly as important. And I'd say we did pretty well at Major League Pickleball.
I think you did all right.
And the serve is not going to be what phases me out of professional pickleball. It's going to be the better and better players that continue to come into this game over time. So, I mean, I did well with the spin serve in 21. This year, my spin serve wasn't nearly as effective going and doing the snap, and I still feel like I had whatever Stacie mentioned, 20 some medals, and next year I'm gonna try my best to play as well as I can. I can't guarantee 26 medals, but you know, even in doubles, I'm still doing all right. And the serve doesn't have nearly as much to do with things in doubles. So to the haters, I don't know. You might be right. We'll find out.
I have defended your case though in saying that it won't make very much of an impact for you. But obviously there's a lot of haters out there in the YouTube land. So
you must be in the Discord too. The Discord.
I am in the
some
Discord.
Good stuff, from what I understand. I gotta make a burner account to get into that Discord.
I have a link.
Which one are you in?
I don't know. The one that Kyle's in.
Selinko?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're just gonna call him out.
Kyle Selinko?
Mm-hmm.
He's my boy.
I know. I'm surprised you hadn't got the invite.
I don't want the invite on it, but I'll make a burner account.
So is it
I
Discord?
actually did legitimately pop into Discord one time. So there's this, I think there was actually a group chat that was like talking about my spin serve. And I was with Chris Olsen and Pickleball Will talking about, we were doing a documentary. And they're like, dude, you got to get on Discord and just pop in. And so they invited me to Discord. I'm literally on there as Zane Navratil Pickleball. All it is people debating whether I'm going to be good or not next year. I pop in. I said, "Sup, boys? Heard you talking shit," and then left. And I haven't heard anything. And from what I understand, they were like, "That there's no way that was actually Zane. Who was that? Who was that?" But it was actually me. Discord people.
That's hilarious.
So is Discord more brutal than the YouTube comments?
It's about on par.
Do you go and look at all that stuff, Zane? Do you keep up with all of it? Obviously not. You're not in the Discord, you said, but do you try and keep up with what's being said out there?
Nah, I post and ghost. It's not worth it.
I think that's the right thing to do.
I use social media probably as much as anybody in terms of posting, but I actually think it's pretty toxic. Like I don't. Mm-hmm. Even if it's all people that you like and whatnot, I think some of the studies that have came out recently confirm my own biases that these are platforms that are intentionally addictive, and I never feel better after using it than before. So it's not necessarily because I'm a pickleball public figure. I just don't think it's a healthy thing for me personally. There's plenty of entertaining stuff, but I am happier when I'm not on social media than when I am. So I post and ghost.
Yeah, I kind of do the same. I typically stir the pot and I get out.
There you go.
You see a lot of John Davisons. Let's be real. You see a lot of John Davisons across the social.
But I will say though, the problem is like on Facebook, there's not as much because your name's attached to it. Where on YouTube, people go on as aliases and they just rip people to shreds. And I'm like, you're only doing that because you're not putting your name out there. Like you would never be saying that if you didn't, because the YouTube threads get brutal. I'm like, I read that and I'm just like, damn, that was savage.
Yeah. You want to share? You want to share some particularly brutal ones? Put you on the spot.
Anything about Colin's brother?
Oh yeah, there's plenty.
I've that's all you have.
Screenshots.
Yeah, he gets the most of it. I will say, but I mean, pretty much like any player can easily get just absolutely roasted on the YouTube chat. It's entertaining though, but it's like whatever. If you don't put your name to it, and someone like if someone was to talk about me and they didn't put their name to it, I'd be like, all right, I don't care. I don't care about your opinion. Yeah. So
they're just trying to get a rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
exactly.
I've been really actually very surprised at, like, I've been putting a lot of content on YouTube recently, and I have a team. They let me know if there's something that's actually interesting, like good suggestions for YouTube videos, and I've asked them, like, how many people are just crap posting on my videos, and apparently not very many. So that's impressive on YouTube. So YouTube trolls, do your worst on my videos. Come at me.
Well, let's take it a little more positive. I want to talk about one thing, Zane, that really struck me in connection with your MLP great performances. You said MLP is all about energy, and talking about, how you look at social media. I think this also kind of applies to how you play. You keep it really energetic, really positive, and I think that is why you've had such incredible success, especially in the team format. Do you want to talk about that and how you keep your mental game on the court?
Sure, yeah, I can try my best, but I mean, I'm a competitor, and I want to do what's best for my team to win. And so we had a couple of interesting personalities on the team, like myself, Rafa, and Paris are all super, super high energy, and like we'll feed off of a crowd going wild, or Rafa making some insane get. But Irina is a lot more chill. So like I don't know, I try to communicate to my teammates in a way that's going to be the most effective. For Rafa and Paris, that's screaming in their face. For Irina, that's basically like being kind of chill, mellow, and so yeah, I think just matching the energy of your partners and your team is important. And I think there are certain players that are, the thing that I miss most about tennis is not tennis at all, but just being on a team of people, and I think just really enjoying that format makes it easier for me, for sure. It's refreshing, all that stuff. So yeah, how do I do it? I don't really know. Maybe it's just because I enjoy it so much that it's easy to do.
Yeah, I think the team environment definitely, it brings out the best in players, and also like it brings out the worst in certain players too, where it's like, good team players do very well in that environment. And I think you saw it. I mean, especially the energy, like you and Rafa go absolutely nuts, especially Rafa. Rafa's like, he's different. He's different at MLP than any other tournament. I mean, but his level shows too. I mean, it's clear you guys were in every final, right? So then won 3 out of 4. It's pretty great. I was rooting against you the last time just because it was more fun. I don't know if you could hear us in the peanut gallery at the top of the section.
Could. Ignatowicz had some funny ones. I think I missed like a dink or something, and he said something ridiculous like get on the creatine or something. I'm like I'm like about to return serve, and I'm laughing. I think Ignatowicz is hilarious. So there was some clever stuff that you guys were yelling. I think Julie Johnson was cheering against us too, and Rafa whiffed something or another. He whiffed like, I think a ball went off the net and he whiffed it, and then like somebody sped something up at it and he whiffed it again, and Julie Johnson goes, "Now that's strike 2, Rafa." And I was dying. She said it in her accent, and I loved it. So hey, I can take it. If somebody's got a good one-liner, send it my way. It doesn't matter if it's at my expense. That's cool. I love it.
I really just hated how quickly you, of all people, caught on to our drinking game at Newport about Rafa Spark.
Rafa Spark.
Rafa's bark when he barks. Remember at Newport, you figured out on that the second one. It was very early in the game, and he barked for the second time. And we see you just looking at us like, "Oh, I see what you guys are doing."
Well, yeah, because you were in that group with. Were you over by Stoney? Or
yeah.
who were you sitting with? Yeah, you were with Stoney.
Like Michelle, Stone, Kyle. Yeah.
Rafa did something. I think I barked a couple times at you too once I figured it out. Or maybe I was just egging him on, but I was like, and then obviously if I'm barking, Rafa's barking. As far as Murray's not barking. Yeah, that was fun.
Good times.
All right, Zane.
The MLPs are great. But go ahead, Stace.
Well, what can we expect from you this year? What are your goals in 2023?
My goals are to continue to have fun and just enjoy where pickleball has come. I mean, I started playing almost 10 years ago, and I was playing on a gym floor with some 70-year-olds and loving it. Pro pickleball wasn't a thing. Just being really, really lucky and enjoying it because it won't last forever. I'm going to try and soak it all in while I can and enjoy and be grateful for all the good stuff. You know, it's easy to focus on the details and the the back and forth between the tours and all that stuff. But overall, pickleball is in a really good spot. Really lucky to have found it when I have, and I'm going to enjoy as much as I can all the cool opportunities that it presents me with.
And
for sure.
No, for sure. Anything else that the Pickler fans should know about you, Zane? Like, why should they root for you on the tour and in the league? Why should they be a Zane Navratil fan?
I don't know. I keep it real. You don't have to be a Zane Navratil fan if you don't like me. That's cool. But I'll be as authentically myself as I can be. I guess I would say Pickler fans, I enjoy creating content, and I really enjoy creating stuff that people will use to help their game. So if you'd like, you can check out my YouTube channel. I have a whole bunch of different drills and things that I do all the time, and if there's certain things that you'd love to see, I will absolutely not respond to you on YouTube, but my staff does tell me, like, hey, here are some good suggestions from the comments, and I usually do make videos based on suggestions. So we can interact in that way, and yeah, I enjoy doing that. So YouTube,
that's great.
That's my thing.
I have a suggestion for you. I think you should do more of the impressions like you did of Althoff. But just start going around for everybody. Just hit every player.
Okay, I like that. That's I think tricky because like some of the people you might not know quite as well, but you can do a really good impersonation of them. I have plenty of good impersonations that I can do. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just say F it and piss off everybody. For the fans.
It's for the content. It's for the content, baby.
Do it for the gram.
There we go. Exactly. Well,
cool.
We typically close it out the same way every time. I don't know if you have whatever beverage you have near you, but we always cheers the camera at the end. But I just want to say, hopefully you come out with some new rule to find the gray area and exploit. I hope you do that. That'll be interesting. And hopefully, unless you're on Olivia's team, hopefully, you don't beat her every time you play in the 2023 season.
She's got good energy. So.
Yeah. So we'll see about that. But all right. Well, Stacie, anything else?
Yeah, smash the like button on YouTube. Head over to Zane's channel. Check it out. And make sure you sign up for the Pickler newsletter. Get the best pickleball tips, news, stories, and keep you in the know on the court. So Zane, good luck this year. We'll be watching you, looking for that new paddle sponsor, seeing what you do over at MLP and on the tour. And we wish you the best of luck, and we'll be cheering you on.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Cheers.
All right, Zane. Cheers.
Pickler out.